The grand concert hall was almost empty that bright afternoon. Sunlight streamed through the tall windows, illuminating rows of crimson seats and the polished black piano sitting proudly on the stage. What happened there that day would change 3 lives forever. A janitor in a worn blue uniform gently guided the hands of a blind little girl across the piano keys. Neither of them noticed the elegant woman standing silently behind the doorway, watching with tears filling her eyes. The woman was one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. And the little girl at the piano was her daughter. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can change lives and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs inspiration today, and subscribe to Luxury Life Stories for more emotional and unforgettable journeys. Ethan Mercer had never imagined that his life would end up this way. 5 years earlier, he had been a respected music teacher with a promising future. He loved music with all his heart and dreamed of performing on famous stages one day. But after his wife passed away unexpectedly, everything changed. Suddenly, he became a single father responsible for raising his young son alone. Bills piled up. Opportunities disappeared. To keep food on the table, Ethan accepted any work he could find. Eventually, he became a janitor at the prestigious Belmont Symphony Hall. Most people walked past him without a second glance. To them, he was simply the man pushing a cleaning cart through hallways and polishing floors after performances ended. No one knew about the music that still lived inside him. No one knew that after everyone left, he sometimes sat quietly at the grand piano and played melodies that carried his grief, hope, and memories. One sunny afternoon, Ethan was cleaning near the stage when he heard small footsteps approaching. A young girl named Aurora carefully made her way into the hall, guided by a white cane. She couldn't see the magnificent theater around her, but she could hear every sound. Aurora loved music more than anything. The 8-year-old often visited the hall while her mother attended meetings with executives and sponsors. Her mother, Victoria Sterling, was the CEO of a global technology company and one of the hall's major benefactors. Her schedule was always packed, leaving little time for family moments. Although Victoria loved her daughter deeply, work often pulled her away. Aurora discovered Ethan sitting at the piano during one of his breaks. Instead of treating her differently because of her blindness, Ethan welcomed her warmly and introduced her to the instrument through touch and sound. He explained each key patiently, helping her feel the vibrations and understand how music flowed. Over the following weeks, an unexpected friendship formed. Every afternoon, Aurora would visit the stage while Ethan worked nearby. Together they explored simple melodies. Ethan never called them lessons. To him, they were moments of joy in otherwise difficult days. He watched Aurora's confidence grow with every note she learned. The little girl who once hesitated to touch the piano began playing simple songs entirely from memory. What Ethan didn't know was that Aurora often spoke about him at home. She described the kind janitor who believed she could do anything. She talked about how music made her feel like she could see colors and sunlight even without her eyes. But Victoria, overwhelmed by endless meetings and responsibilities, never fully understood how important these piano sessions had become. Then came the day that changed everything. Victoria arrived unexpectedly early for a business event being held at the concert hall. Looking for her daughter, she followed the faint sound of piano music echoing through the building. As she approached the auditorium, she stopped. Aurora sat at the piano bench wearing a playful blindfold over her eyes, laughing as Ethan guided her fingers across the keys. Together they played a beautiful melody that filled the hall with warmth and emotion. Ethan wasn't teaching notes anymore. He was teaching confidence, courage, and belief. Victoria remained hidden behind the doorway. For the first time in years, she saw her daughter glowing with happiness. Aurora's face carried a joy that expensive gifts, private tutors, and luxury experiences had never created. The little girl looked completely alive. Then Victoria noticed something else. Ethan's uniform sleeves were worn. His shoes showed signs of age. Yet despite his own struggles, he was giving his time freely to a child who needed encouragement. He expected nothing in return. As the music continued, Victoria quietly learned Ethan's story from hall employees. She discovered he was a widowed single father working long hours just to support his son. She learned about his former career in music and the sacrifices he had made to keep his family together. The realization struck her deeply. While she had spent years chasing success, this humble janitor had been giving her daughter something priceless, genuine human connection. Several days later, Victoria arranged a special event at the concert hall. Staff members, musicians, and guests gathered under the bright afternoon light. Ethan assumed he was being recognized for his dedication as an employee. Instead, he was invited onto the stage. Victoria publicly thanked him for changing her daughter's life. She explained how his kindness had restored Aurora's confidence and brought joy back into their family. Then she made an announcement that stunned everyone. Using her influence and resources, Victoria had created a community music program for children with disabilities. She wanted Ethan to lead it as director and instructor. The audience erupted into applause. For a moment, Ethan couldn't speak. Years of hardship, loneliness, and sacrifice seemed to lift from his shoulders. His passion for music, the dream he thought was gone forever, suddenly had a future again. The program quickly became a success. Dozens of children discovered the power of music. Aurora became its first student and biggest inspiration. Ethan's own son proudly watched his father return to the career he loved. Months later, the grand hall once again echoed with piano music. But this time, it wasn't a lonely janitor playing after hours. It was a respected teacher helping young lives find hope through every note. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like the video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who believes kindness still exists in the world. Special request, comment below with the word hope if you believe one small act of kindness can change someone's entire future. Sometimes the greatest miracles don't happen under spotlights or in front of crowds. Sometimes they happen quietly, in the middle of an ordinary day, when one person chooses compassion over convenience. And sometimes, the person watching from behind the door discovers that true success isn't measured by wealth or power, but by the lives we touch when nobody is looking.